It is happening all over again. So recently, Disney confirmed that they are going to be dropping and launching the NFTs when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to Pixar, the same way they did it for Marvel. And if you have been following this channel, early this year, back in February, I talked about how DC NFTs is going to be huge, and since then, it has exploded. So for those of you that's been following the channel, if you went in and bought these DC comic NFTs, let's see what has happened, right? So since then, this Batman that sold for $70 listed price, today the floor price is $5,199. I've sold a bunch. I only own one right now. I'm still holding on to my last one. I'll probably not sell, and I think it'll be a great story to tell. And since then, I have grown the portfolio to currently we hold 364 NFTs on this app. And right now, the same thing's happening again. What does this mean? It means that if you know how to spot the opportunity, as well as understand how to flip these NFTs, specifically when it comes to Marvel, Star Wars, as well as Pixar, and speculate which one is going to go up or which one's going to be hot, I believe that there's going to be huge opportunity happening all over again. And today, by the end of this video, you're going to be able to see my thought process between what I think is hype, what I think is a bubble. There's a lot of them, it's a bubble right now. In fact, I'm going to be selling some NFTs in preparation for this, so that you can understand the strategy and the thought process behind this. All right, so let's begin. So just today, literally this was like a day ago, it's been confirmed that Disney, that owns Marvel and Pixar and Star Wars, they're going to be launching the NFTs on the platform VeVe, but the exact specific characters is not yet revealed. Now, I'm going to walk you through. Now, just because it's Marvel, there are some things that I invest heavily upon, and there are some things that I absolutely know with beyond a shadow of doubt that's absolutely hype, and you should avoid them at all costs. And I'm going to cover what they are as well, being a collector. So if you've been following my journey, I am a huge Marvel geek. I love collecting comics, collectibles, toys, all of that, right? And in previous videos, I've been also showing you exactly how I invest in all these different alternative investments, right? So what is amazing and different about these NFTs is that it is going to be golden moments, which means that there's going to be statues of these characters as digital collectibles. Now, this has been done by other brands before, and I'm going to walk you through what happened to these brands when they launched these statues as well. Okay, so as part of promotion, they are going to be including Disney Plus subscriptions as well. It was recently mentioned on a call 2 days ago that the entry-level ones will include 3 months of Disney Plus, and like the ultra-rare ones will include like 12 months of Disney Plus. So since then, ever since VeVe launched their NFTs, they have sold more than 1.9 million NFTs, which is insane. Over 500,000 active users. And I truly believe that this is still at its baby stage where there's still a ton of opportunity. So if you were to take a look at the collection here. Now I'm going to take a look at the news. Let's take a look at one more, okay, before I walk you through my collection and what I'm heavily focused on, okay? So you can see, in fact, the mods and admins has been teasing as well that the Star Wars NFTs are confirmed. So, and the reason why it's confirmed is the Marvel drops have been doing extremely well. They have been selling out, and with Disney coming, or rather Disney going all in, they're now taking their next brand franchise, right, Star Wars, and they've even said, right, it's coming, you know, soon. And so far, every single brand that VeVe has kind of teased and promised, gotta give it to them, they have delivered, okay? Even when everybody was saying, you know, Marvel's not happening, you're just teasing us with Marvel, and they said, you know, there's a lot of things we can't say, and everybody said, you know, it's all just marketing. They delivered, okay? Now, I want to be upfront, I want to be transparent. I am not affiliated with VeVe or Omi. They're not paying me to do this video to review them. So, and in fact, they should, right? So this is a totally unbiased review. Well, maybe it's biased because I do hold, 300 plus NFTs when it comes to this platform. But whether you buy or not, it's probably not going to affect my investment, okay? So if you take a look at this, they are going to be, I believe that when Disney brings in even more of their franchise, it is going to drive prices up even further. However, there are a few bubbles that I'll talk about that I believe when the hype dies down, the prices will crash. And in fact, I'm going to sell some of them live over here so that you can see I'm putting my mouth where, based on what I'm saying. All right, so based on this, right, you can see that a secret rare Darth Vader, I can imagine, would totally explode, especially when or if they launch their VeVe-verse that includes the virtual land and people can utilize virtual reality to visit each other's collections. And I think that's when potentially things will just go nuts, okay? So let's talk about what are some of the things that I believe is overhyped that I'm going to let go, okay? So right now, going into my collection, I am going to walk you through some things that I think is just insane, okay? So the first one, okay, that we're going to sell together is this Givenchy set, okay? Now, this set over here, I believe that right now, it's not even its peak. Its peak was like a month ago. And it's not that I don't believe that this set would go up even more. I believe that the opportunity cost to holding it, there are a lot more opportunities out there, and I would rather cash out after generating quite a bit, okay? And I'm going to walk you through what it is. This first one, okay, you can see like this Cleopatra NFT. There's 60 in the market for sale right now, and you can see that I bought this. So I couldn't even get it when it launched. I bought it back then a few months ago at 765, and today the minimum price is 3,250. Now at the peak, I believe it was like 4,005. I should have sold it back then, but I wasn't really active last month on this app. Now, one thing I want to be clear, okay? It's not that I don't think the price of this can go to double and become 7,000, but I think the odds of this doubling from 3,005 to 7,000 is significantly less than an NFT that's priced at 1,000 going to 2,000, and we'll talk about why that is the case, okay? So for that reason, I am going to sell this set, this selection, and I'm going to put it for sale and sell this in the market, okay? So I'm going to sell it at buy now price, and I am going to list it at, I'm not going to list at lowest because I'm not, desperate to sell, but I'll list it at about 3,005, so 3,490. Okay, done. I'm going to confirm sale, all right, and list it in the market. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for everything else in this collection because I think that right now, again, opportunity cost. Now, I know what some of you could be saying, right? This NFT on Pride, the crazy thing is when I bought it at about 800 and right now it's 5,900, okay? I sold it at about 4, okay? So it went up by about 50%. But again, I don't beat myself up trying to think about selling at its peak. Why? Because I'm coming from an angle of opportunity cost, and having that kind of mindset has enabled me to, this initial collection, I would say that my capital was probably about 2,000-ish now, and we have, I would say, the net worth of this account is well over 100,000 right now, right? And it's because of I'm able to let go of my personal attachment to it, and I'm thinking of it not just from an angle of being a collector, but also the practicality of it all. Okay, so I'm more of a collector when it comes to like comics and the physical collectibles. For this, when I like something, I'll keep it, but if it makes sense, that's when I let it go. All right, so if you take a look at this, same thing. I'm going to list this entire thing, and right now you can see, I bought this at 565. In fact, if you watch that video, I bought this together with you guys, right? I said that I see a lot of potential in this going up. I mentioned about 3 to 4x, but right now it has about 6x, right? So I am going to be selling this thing at 6x right now, 565. And I think that it's a good time to let go. Again, not because I don't believe it can go up further. Definitely, there will be a time when go up further. I just believe in opportunity cost. All right. So selling in market, sell at buy now price. This is where I want to be careful. There were times when literally I keyed in the wrong value and was missing 1 0, and the 1 0 can be a difference between $1,000. Okay, so the floor price was 3,000, right? So before I list it, I always want to see like what is the market right now. You can see one at about 2,990, 3,002, 3,003. So that means there's 3 people that I can compete with. I'm not desperate, so I'm just going to sell it slightly lower than the second guy. Okay, so this would be 3,290. All right, here you go. All right, and then finally this rewind logo here, its peak, it went up to like 1,000. It's about 670 right now. I think it's ridiculous that an uncommon that has got 2,000 mints is being sold at this price right now. So floor price 670. I'm just gonna sell it. And by the way, the reason why this thing's hyped right now is because there's like one main guy that is hoarding on to a bunch of them, and if one day he decides to let go, trust me, this thing will crash. He says he's not letting go, but who knows? I'm not going to take any chances. And that's why this set that has got this amount of mints, which is low, but comparable to other brands that would have similar mints, the prices are way less than this. So I think it's a good time to sell. Okay, so you have seen I've listed some of them for sale right now. Now I'm going to be selling a bit more, a few more of these. You guys don't need to see this, but ultimately I want you to be able to walk you through the process of how I think about this, right? How I think about this is about opportunity cost. I'm thinking about the brands that will come in that's going to be bigger than these ones over here. And that being said, just because it's a big brand, just because it's Marvel, just because it is Thor or a collectible comic that's Marvel on VeVe, to me, there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the stuff that doesn't make sense that I feel you should avoid at all cost. So one of the things that VeVe did is when they brought Marvel on, they also brought Marvel in to sell their digital comics in the form of an NFT. Okay, now because this is supposed to be, comics in the form of NFTs, the price has also exploded. In fact, let me just focus in on my face for a second over here. All right, so let's take a look at this comic section, right? Now, this comic section, what was launched on VeVe are all very, very notable comics, as well as milestones and first appearances that they did. Right, so like for this comic over here, I literally have the physical version of this, and this is the first appearance of Scarlet Witch. Now, when I bought this physical comic that was graded at 6.0, it was at approximately, can't remember the exact amount right now. So let's take a look at this over here. Now you can see that in February 2021, I bought this same exact comic that was graded at a 3.5, okay, at 2,500. Now, this is a pretty rare and notable comic in the comic world because it's the second appearance of Magneto, first appearance of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and Toad. So this is XMen number 4, which is a pretty big milestone, right? And this price point is considered not high for a 3.5, okay? Now, coming back to this, here's the point I am trying to make. If we know that a graded comic is a few $1,000s, right, depending on how notable it is, as together with the supply. Coming back to this over here, here's the thing I want you to see. You see this ultra rare for Kang the Conqueror? If I were, this is sorted from low to high, right? You can see that the cheapest one is $2,300. Now, what is puzzling to me, that makes no sense, is as a comic collector that collects both digital and physical, hands down, all day, every day, I would rather have the physical copy of this where I can get an actual graded comic that was dated back to, what, 1963, right? And pay for that rather than something that's digital that has got even more supply, right? So this, if you think about it, this has less supply, is the actual thing, versus something that is digital, that has got more supply, that was recently minted this year. Now, to me, that's hype. This means that when I look at all these different comics, if you want to be able to collect it for fun, when it comes to the common, for a couple of bucks, $10, $15, that's fine. But if it comes to collecting an ultra rare, you know, and paying over $1,000 for it, there must be a point when you're going, you have to go and question, like, when is this insanity going to end, right? Because there's something comparable in the collector world. And I know some people will be saying, well, Peng Joon, you don't understand it, right? I do understand it. Like, being a collector for both worlds, here's how I think about this. If I were to go back to my screen again, let's take a look at a recent purchase, okay? Now, this purchase over here, I literally bought it on December 30th, 2020, okay? And in fact, if you guys remember, if you've been following the channel, I even said, guys, if you want to be able to make a sound investment in the world of comics and collectibles, always invest in something where the character is not known yet, because that is going to give you an unfair advantage, because when the rest of the world catches up, that is when the hype, the hype train, right, is coming, and that's when the price increases. Right now, here we are, close to a year later, nearly, right? Notice what happened, right? So I bought this 9.8, which is pretty much perfect condition, right? For this first appearance of Shang-Chi at 7,000. So if you take a look at this, okay, in terms of recent prices, this from Go Collect, they literally list all of the existing supply in the marketplace at this specific grade. And as you can see over here, there's about 107 of them that is at 9.8, and 6 of them that is signed, right? So this purchase here is for 1 of 6 in the world. Now, I prefer controlling and playing markets where there's a lot less supply, because it's easier to control the price. But even for the standard 9.8s, you can see that in the last few months, you can see at the peak of the hype, right, when this movie just released, right, you can see it sold for up to $18,000, right? So, and by the way, again, this is just the regular blue non-signed copy that has got 107, right? For the signed copy, where there's only 6 in the world, I haven't seen any for sale yet, but usually the signed copy can go to about 50% more than the normal ones. So what am I trying to show you here? It's that if you understand how to invest invest, I'm going to use it in inverted commas, right? Invest in these type of collectibles. It is all about understanding how to go in when the hype isn't there yet, knowing very well that the hype is coming soon because of some market movement. Okay, so if you were to apply this in this upcoming Disney, okay, what's going to happen? The same thing's going to happen. When Star Wars come out, it's going to go absolutely nuts. So this means there's going to be a flow of attention, just like cryptocurrency. When does the price of altcoins go up? When the main coin, Bitcoin, right, and everybody has made their money off Bitcoin, they're taking the money off Bitcoin and then putting it onto the other coins. Same thing's happening over here. There's a lot of people that has made their money, and guess what? When it comes closer to date, they're going to want to cash out and buying the Marvel NFTs instead. And when you start doing that, then it's when you're going to be competing with everybody else who wants to cash out. So if you have been watching this channel and you've been buying together with me, now's the time to cash out, get gems, and stockpile it for Marvel, or rather for Star Wars and for Pixar, because when it comes out, that is the time to buy and hold for a few months, especially when there's more user adoption and when the rest of the world catches on. That is when things are going to get really interesting. So one of the things that we have always done is in these type of videos, we're always doing giveaways. I'm going to be giving away 3 of my NFTs that's sold out on this platform. What I'd like you to do is comment below what is your username. We're gonna select 3 people by random and give out these 3 NFTs. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for the algorithm and subscribe to this video for first-hand news if you want to stay current when it comes to anything about making money online. And I will see you in the next video.